Have you ever been curious about what's behind a private Instagram profile, but at the same time, you're just not willing to risk your own privacy? It's a common dilemma, right? Well, today, we're going to dive into a tool called Peekviewer, which claims it can give you a secure and anonymous window into those accounts. So let's take a closer look and see what it's all about. Okay, let's just get straight to the point. The second you hear about an app that can view private content, the first thing that pops into your head is probably, hold on, can I really trust something like that? That is a totally fair and, honestly, a really important question. So we're going to tackle it head on. And it's not just you thinking it. This quote right here shows that it's the first question on almost everybody's mind. And in today's digital world, having that little bit of skepticism is actually a pretty smart thing. So let's dig into the details and see what this trust is actually built on. So that brings us to our first section, a question of trust. Are we just talking about big promises here, or are there some real results to back everything up? Well, one of the best places to start looking for answers is with other people. We're talking about hundreds of real online reviews from actual users, people who've gone out, used the service, and have come back to say that it works exactly like it's supposed to. You know, having that much positive feedback from a community of users is a pretty strong sign that you're dealing with a reliable platform. So the whole case for trusting Peekviewer really rests on two main pillars. First, and this is a big one, it's a completely legal app. And second, there's a ton of proof out there from real users that it genuinely works. Okay, so we've covered the trust angle. Let's move on to the next absolutely critical piece of the puzzle for any online service: your data. How exactly does Peekviewer protect your personal information and keep you safe? This is the make or break question for so many of us, isn't it? Anytime you use a service, you absolutely need to know where your data is going and who might be looking at it. And Peekviewer's policy on this couldn't be clearer. Your data is kept private and is never, ever shared. And when it comes to third parties, your information is never sold or distributed. That commitment is basically the cornerstone of how they keep their users safe. So how do they back that up? Well, they use something called end-to-end encryption. Now, that might sound a bit techy, but the idea is actually super simple. It means your activity is locked up in a way that only you can see it. It creates this kind of private, unreadable channel just between you and the service. We've talked trust, we've talked data security. Now let's get into the feature that really brings it all home: anonymity. How does this thing actually let you browse without leaving a trace? The whole process is designed for privacy from the very beginning. You create an account, yes, but here's the key part: you are never asked to link your personal Instagram profile. That is a massive deal because it completely cuts the connection between your real identity and what you're doing on the platform. And the end result of that is simple: your identity is never exposed. Because your personal account is totally separate from your viewing activity, you can browse without leaving any kind of digital footprint that could be traced back to you. So after looking at trust, data security, and anonymity, what's the final verdict? Let's bring all these different pieces together. The philosophy behind Peekviewer really seems to be about giving you peace of mind by design. Every single feature, from being legal to its super strict privacy rules, feels like it was engineered to create a secure and totally worry-free experience for you. So if you're going to take away just a few things from this, remember these three. It's legal, operating completely within legal boundaries. It's secure, protecting your data with solid encryption. And it's anonymous, keeping your identity private. That's really the whole package. So we'll leave you with this final thought. In an age where there are digital walls everywhere we look, what's the real value of having a secure, anonymous window? If you're curious and want to learn more, there's a link to Peekviewer waiting for you in the description below. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.